Cornerstone Retirement Partners presents Your Course to Retirement with Grand Rapids Certified Financial Planner Ron Corser and Nolan Gosley. Cornerstone Retirement Partners are planning today for the potential of tomorrow.
Here on Your Course to Retirement with Ron Corser, CFP, Certified Financial Planning Professional, your resource, Grand Rapids, for proactive financial investment and retirement planning advice and guidance. And if you've got questions or concerns, you're welcome to be in touch. Ron, today you've got a resource outlining 7 financial myths, common planning mistakes, and misconceptions that savers and investors may need to reconsider.
Yeah, it goes along with all the retirement planning that we do at our firm. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Corser with Cornerstone Retirement Partners. We're going to talk about some financial myths. And what I always preface this conversation when I have it during reviews with clients is always remember the 11th commandment. What is the 11th commandment? Thou shalt not let thyself be buffaloed. So don't be buffaloed by what you hear or what they say, whoever they are, because there's a lot of misconception. There's a lot of bad information. There's a lot of strange information out there. And if you don't have real facts in front of you, the critical facts in front of you, sometimes it becomes very difficult to make a good financial decision for yourself. So we're going to touch on some here that are financial myths, and hopefully you'll be able to get some good information out of it. If whatever we talk about today kind of piques your interest, give me a call. I'm Ron Corser, Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581. That's Ron Corser. That's me, 616-301-2581. So here's a myth that I think has been busted pretty good as of last year. The market always goes up. Most people a couple of years ago before COVID hit would probably be more likely to agree with that. But we've had a really ugly year in 2022. But over time, that is true. It's just, when is it true and when isn't it? So let's put some perspective on this. Over the last 110 years, the market has averaged an annualized rate of return of 7.1% over the last 110 years. That's pretty good. It sounds like the market always goes up, and it does if you live long enough and don't run out of money waiting for it to go up. So here's the other little piece of information. I think a lot of us remember the 2002 debacle and 2008, and then we even got into some tough times at 2020 with COVID. The period between 2000 and 2014, that period had 2 major drops in the market, had 2 major run-ups in the market. But the key to remember is that over those 14 years, the market was flat. It didn't go anywhere. And for those of you who'd like to see a graph, I can send it to you, that you can see this. And over the last 20 years, going from 2000 to 2020, guess what the market average has been? 4.58%. That's on the S&P 500 with dividends compounded. So it depends a lot on where you start when you start measuring the market. And why is this important? If you think the market goes up 10% a year, which is another myth, and you start planning your retirement plan on a 10% rate of return, what if you don't get it? What if you retired this past January 2022? The market was down about 19%. That's a far cry from plus 10%. So the problem is that if you use kind of inflated numbers to figure out what the market's going to do in the future, which has an impact on how you create an investment strategy in retirement, it could turn out badly. Always know what your average rate of return is for you personally. And that depends on you picking a spot where you're going to start measuring the market. For what we try to help clients understand is if you're going to live a long time, let's go back to 2000. Let's don't plan on a 10% rate of return. If we get it, wonderful. But let's, for planning purposes and income purposes in retirement, choose a retirement return in your portfolio that's a little more rational, that's a little more long-term. It'll take the worry out of being close, but more importantly, it will take a lot of the downside risk out of a potential portfolio that's geared for the go-go times when that doesn't happen. So those two myths, that the market always goes up and it averages 10%, be very careful accepting those two. Again, if anything we've talked about so far kind of piques your interest, I'm Ron Corser. Give me a call at Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581, or go to our website, www.cornerstone-rp.com. Put your information in there and we'll reach out to you and provide the data you need, the information you need to make really great decisions for you and your family, to make sure that whatever's coming down the road, you plan for it. It gives you some peace of mind, which is priceless. So let's go to the third one. And this is that old 4% rule that we talked about. What is that rule? That was created back in 1993 by a guy named William Beckman. He took a look at the previous 20 years and said, you know what, I've calculated all this out. And I think if you have a portfolio of 60% stocks, 40% bonds and cash, that you can take out 4% a year, whatever the value of that portfolio is, starting every year, and you won't run out of money. Well, how's that been since he's did that? He was interviewed about 8 or 9 years ago, and I asked him about this, and he said he would not use it in his own planning. It's too risky. It's not that he made a bad decision back in the day, but he based that 4% rule on an average stock return of a little over 9% and bonds returning a little over 6%. Bonds haven't returned 6% since the cows come home. And last year was not a good year. So in total, the assumptions he made to come up with that rule made sense for the data. But going forward, it didn't make sense for reality. So what should we do? How do we figure out what we need? Here's a really great way to do this. Instead of trying to just ballpark a percentage, the first thing to do is to create an income plan that does the following. We figure out, number one, how much money do you really need every month coming into your checking account from all your investments, from all sources, pensions, Social Security, annuities, investments. How much do you need to maintain your lifestyle? And number two, we subtract what we think is going to be guaranteed income, pension income, Social Security, annuity income. The difference between what you need and what those sort of guaranteed accounts do, that's the income gap. That's the money you need out of your investment account. And then instead of trying to figure out, well, what's 4% of that? How about if what we do is to just say, let's give you that difference from your investment accounts. And then when we create the plan, we'll find out if it makes real sense. And we're quite honest with people. If we have to draw 7 or 8 or 9% out of the investment account, the plan is not going to work. I will not buffalo you and say, you know, you're going to be okay as long as the markets return 10%, which that doesn't happen very often. So it's really important to understand that that 4% rule is just a guideline that perhaps a long time ago made more sense than today. But to make sure you're on track with your retirement income planning is to have a written plan that takes a look at all the sources coming out from every kind of account you have. The key is to maintain your lifestyle. We're really good at doing this with clients. So if you have a need, if you've never had a written income plan that shows you where all the money's coming from so you can maintain your lifestyle, but more importantly, have some sort of confidence that you're not going to run out of money in 10 years, give us a call. I'm Ron Corser. Call me at Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581, or go to our website, www.cornerstone-rp.com. Put your information in there. We'll reach out to you, get you the information you need so you can make great decisions for yourself and your family. Here's one that's an interesting one. This concerns taxes. When I got in this business back in 1994, the trainers who had me just beat it into me. They said, tell people to put as much money away into tax-deferred accounts as they can, because when they retire, they're going to be in a lower tax bracket and they're going to pay less in tax. Well, does that ring true today after what, almost 28 years in this business? I'm inclined to say I don't think so, not so much. What's changed over that time? Well, what's happened to taxes? Taxes, the taxes are really a political issue, aren't they? The politicians in Washington, D.C. can make them go up or down, whatever they feel is right. Right now, we're in the lowest tax environment we're probably ever going to be in for the rest of our lives. Why do I say that? Because the tax codes that we're dealing with now went into effect in 2017 and they were sunsetted. So in 2025, they go away and revert back to where they were in 2016, which means brackets go up, which means if the politicians tell us they're never going to raise our taxes, they're going to go up automatically, whether we like it or not. So the issue of whether you're going to pay more in tax in going forward in the future versus less, for most people, the answer is they're probably going to pay a little more. And it may not always be the case, but most people base what they're going to take out of the retirement plans, what they need to maintain their lifestyle. So somebody who has a lifestyle that requires $65,000 a year is not going to trim back to only having $40,000. So it's important when you create a income plan in retirement that you take into taxes in consideration. And we're good at that. We don't do tax stuff, but I'm a certified financial planner. Nolan is very much in tune with all the tax rules. And when we do planning, taxes play an important part of what we try to help people understand. So we don't know whether you're going to be in a position to pay more or less in tax, but we can sure help you answer that question. Are you going to pay more or less based on current tax laws and the current plan you have? So having a written income plan that includes some sort of tax planning is really important. If this is important to you, give me a call. Ron Corser, Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581. That's 616-301-2581. We can and will help you with this most important question. Are you going to pay more in tax or less? And how can we manage it? Here's another one that's always interesting. I like talking about these. And I tell you, it's kind of like when you bring it up, it's that vampire strategy. It's called life insurance. So the question becomes, is there a need for life insurance as you get into or near retirement? And an answer to that is, it depends. There's a group out there that says, life insurance, you get to be 60, you should have enough money, you should have self-insured, you don't need life insurance. There's another group out there that says it should always be part of something you look at in creating a financial plan. So let's talk about life insurance, what it does do and how it's been mismanaged to do things that it was never allowed to do and will never do. So let's think about this. If you take a life insurance contract, a whole life contract, and I know there's a pretty famous guy out there that says that's a mistake, but I can show you that it isn't in certain situations. What does life insurance do? It does a couple things. Number one, it provides income for a spouse once one of the spouses die. Because when a spouse dies, somebody loses a Social Security payment. So that's income. Number two, life insurance in retirement can also be used to pay for medical costs, any long-term care or custodial costs that you may have incurred over time, even on a short-term basis. And that can be very expensive on a monthly basis. Number three, a good cash value plan can provide tax advantage or tax-free income when it's properly structured. It's another source of income. So you think about it, it does a couple things. It provides a benefit for your spouse if you lose a Social Security benefit, if you have expenses to pay after the one person's died, if you have medical bills you have to pay with normal medical bills or custodial bills, whatever it is, or you can have some income out of it. Another advantage is that you can leave the life insurance to your beneficiaries if you want to create a legacy plan. Now, a lot of people say, I don't care if they'll get whatever they get that's left over, and my kids are good with it because they're doing okay. But here's what life insurance can do for you emotionally. You can create a life insurance plan that's going to be used for your beneficiaries, either a charity or your children or grandchildren. What that allows you to do is it gives you a little more freedom to spend more in retirement. You don't ever have to worry about getting to that point and saying, oh man, should we take this out to spend this on this? We want to leave something for the kids. So life insurance can do that. What won't life insurance do? Well, that's a great question, because we hear on there that it's not a good idea. It's a terrible investment. Life insurance is not an investment. Life insurance is a contract with an insurance company that provides benefits if you live, if you die, if you have big medical bills, if you want to leave a legacy, if you need some tax-free income. Don't treat it as an investment. It's a different piece of your retirement plan. It's a different piece of your estate plan. So those are the good things that it does. What are the bad things that it does? I can't think of anything that's really bad. I really can't. But it's always that situation. It makes great sense to look at the options that life insurance provides, rather than just dismissing it out of hand, saying, I heard it's bad, or I don't want it, I don't need it. That may be true, but wouldn't it be great to just have somebody take you, kind of walk by your side and explore the different options and the different benefits? They may not be of interest to you. You may not need them. But you know what? You've done your due diligence. You've taken a look at this, and you've made a decision on how you want to handle your retirement plan, your retirement spending, and your legacy issues if you have any. So if this is important to you, give me a call. I'm Ron Corser, Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581, 616-301-2581. Now, there's one other benefit I haven't really focused hard on, and here it is. Properly structured life insurance, some types, can be a great account for long-term care planning. It can be a really great account. It's not always right for everybody, but if having long-term care coverage is somewhat important to you, or at least you'd like to learn more about it, give me a call, Ron Corser, 616-301-2581 at Cornerstone Retirement Partners. We can go through all the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, everything about this to see if this might be a reasonable approach to dealing with that. Oh my goodness, what if I have to go into a facility for custodial care or long-term care? So give me a call, 616-301-2581. Go to my website, www.cornerstone-rp.com. Put your information in there. We'll reach out to you and we'll help you do a really rational investigation into, does this kind of an account, life insurance, make sense for you? So we're kind of getting down there. One is, can I rely on my investment plan for retirement? Here's a simple answer. If you've had an advisor that walks you through and you've done a really thorough, good job in figuring out what your income needs are in retirement, what your guaranteed income is going to be from pension, Social Security, annuities, what your income gap is, and if you can absolutely with certainty say, I'm filling that income gap with my investments, then you might say, okay, I got this handled. I can rely on my investment account for retirement. But if any of those things are missing, you're not sure if you can. So here's the rub. If you're not sure, wouldn't it make good sense to be sure? That's how we can help you. Give us a call. Give me a call, Ron Corser at Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581, 616-301-2581. We'll help you through this to answer the question, will my retirement income plan be good enough in retirement? Will my investments help me in retirement do what I want to do? We can help you with that. And finally, here's a big one, because sometimes we meet people like this. I haven't done a lot of planning. I'm getting ready to retire in about 2 years. I think it's too late for me to do anything. If those thoughts have ever crossed your mind, you really do need to give me a call at 616-301-2581. It's 616-301-2581. Ladies and gentlemen, it's never too late to do planning. It is never too late to do planning. It is never too late to do planning. In fact, if you said, I'm not sure I've done enough, give me a call. I hear that sometimes from people that, I haven't saved enough. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just say, time out. Let's take a look at what you have, what you need your life savings to do, and let's see if we can put together a plan that will actually do what you want it to do. Or if in fact it comes up a little short, at least you know that. You don't have to sweat it. You know it's coming, so you can take other avenues, working some part-time, not buying that vintage Maserati for a couple more years, doing things like that. There's always a way to plan efficiently and effectively in retirement. It is never, never too late. Maybe the only time it's too late is if you've never done any planning and you don't have any more money. We don't want that to happen to you. So give us a call at 616-301-2581, 616-301-2581, or go to our website here at Cornerstone Retirement Partners. It's www.cornerstone-rp.com. Put your information in there. We'll reach out to you. We will and can help you. We can eliminate some of your worries and maybe show you how that things are going to be maybe a little better than you thought. And wouldn't that be nice to know? So give me a call. I'm Ron Courser at Cornerstone Retirement Partners, 616-301-2581. Thanks for listening today. If anything we've said makes sense, call us again at 616-301-2581. You can also go to our website, www.cornerstone-rp.com. You can listen to today's program and all the other previous blogs and radio shows we've had. So take care. Good planning to all. Look forward to hearing from you.
Tune into Cornerstone Retirement Partners' full radio program, Your Course to Retirement, Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock at News Radio WOOD, or visit cornerstone-rp.com for many valuable resources, including those mentioned on this show and other great episodes of Your Course to Retirement.
The content of this radio show is provided for informational purposes only and is not a solicitation or recommendation of any investment strategy. You are encouraged to seek investment, tax, or legal advice from an independent professional advisor.
Ed Slott's Elite IRA Advisor Group is solely an indication that the financial advisor has attended training provided by Ed Slott and Company, passed biannual examinations on material covered at conferences and in webinars, and met other membership requirements, and does not constitute an endorsement of any kind. Ed Slott's Elite IRA Advisor Group members pay a fee for the educational programs that allow them to be included in the Ed Slott's Elite IRA Advisor Group. Membership does not guarantee investment success. Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services.
Advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.
Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.
Any investments and/or investment strategies mentioned involve risk, including the possible loss of principal. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals or growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.